Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is me, once again, screaming into the void of the internet. Just got through closing 10 hours today. We worked a 10-hour shift, so yeah. We at least got a work weekend, even though it's not necessarily the weekend anymore. I basically got 2 days off, so it's pretty much my weekend, so it's whatever. I had something I kind of wanted to mention, and it's rather interesting because essentially, one of my exes, essentially, the chick that we used to room with and whatnot, her daughter, she apparently had a mental breakdown and was, she's not in a psych ward because they freaking tore asylums down for the most part, so, psych wards aren't really very prevalent. It's not that they don't exist, but it's like harder to find. But I distinctly remember that on the day that I moved, because I did have them give me a ride one last time, and those cunts tried to ask me for gas money even then. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the last time I freaking talk to you cocksuckers. But essentially, I remember her kind of looking at me go, and she kind of looked sad. But hey, man, that freaking ship has sailed. I don't really give a rat's arse because you guys know my stances on freaking romance and crap like that. So I think what actually caused it was the fact that she was hyper stressed, mainly because while they were starting all these issues over there and crap like that and being dramatic as usual per the ladies, I was actually looking for work. I was busting my arse. And while they had plenty of time, they played with that time. And so now that, the person who we were rooming with, obviously the lease is running out this month. My folks are pretty alright. And even if they weren't, I'd be able to, help them a little, to at least make sure they, at most, I could probably, help them afford a room as well. Not that I'd be paying rent every month, I'm just saying, I can do stuff. But they played with their time and they did stupid crap, right? And now that time's running out, they're probably wondering what the heck they're going to do. But I made this very clear, and I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but I'll say it one more time just so you can understand. I'm a cold bastard when it comes down to this. So, when you start acting certain ways, you better be prepared to deal with the consequences. Because I've said it once and I'll say it again. Right now, I could really care less if they're sucking dick for chicken bones. So I just found it very interesting that the moment that I leave, I'm not even gone for a week, and this chick has a nervous breakdown. I'm not saying that I was the root cause of it, but it's pretty ironic that, the moment I leave, and I don't know, man. I don't know. But aside from that, I love that right now there's tons of trucks for some reason. Okay, I think we should be good now. I don't know what the heck's going on. This better not affect my freaking pay. Not my pay, but my ride. Because honestly, if it's this much freaking traffic, I know that they're gonna try and freaking price gouge the hell out of me when I call my ride after I'm done with this video. Don't know why there's so many trucks, but I just thought that was very interesting. I kind of wanted to share that real quick before I kind of hop into, I guess, the meat and potatoes of this video, guys. And that being this, okay? I find it very interesting that some of these people who have no experience with being in, say, the male's business end of a relationship, we'll talk about how easy a relationship is. I was listening to some of the freaking female coworkers talk about how it doesn't make sense about how hard it is to find a guy and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, geez, I wonder, when somebody's basically just randomly asking you for money constantly and has no form of saving, it's funny because, I was eating some fortune cookies just before I started recording this. The very last cookie I ate literally said, spend less, save more. And that is literally the polar opposite of what will happen to you as a man if you get into a relationship. If you are fortunate enough to have somebody who's got, like, you know, a good sense of finances and doesn't spend, you know, lavishly, good for you. But that is very rare, because, my God, if you get in a relationship as a guy, savings go down, spending goes up, you know? But I was listening to them, and I was just like, I love that they're saying this, because it just proves the point. Like, they have no idea how obnoxious it is to just drop that money, because even though they earn it, it's like, I don't think that they have some kind of sense of value for the amount of time that it took to get there, because they just spend it immediately. I'm not talking about all, like, you know, the necessities, boys, because I'm saving, right? But hey, I need groceries and stuff like that, which I've already bought for, I'm not going to say the rest of the month, but, you know, I'm basically saving money by eating at my job all the time. Like, I'll actually cook tomorrow, well, today, obviously, when I get home in the morning, obviously, because I don't have work for 2 days, so I can actually cook. But other than that, like, I'm usually saving my money, and it's like, I'm listening to these chicks, and they're just spending money. They're constantly, like, you know, freaking buying teas and ice cream and stuff like that, and I'm like, bro, listen, I understand indulgence, by all means. I said in my last video about indulgence and stuff like that, right? But at a certain point, you have to wonder about, like, how much of this am I spending versus retaining, you know? Like, it's not just about how much you make, it's about how much you retain. There's no denying that, yeah, you know, I am basically, you know, starter pay for this job and stuff like that. But I've made it very clear that, hey, listen, I don't want to, like, move up in advance, because I don't want to be in charge of anyone. I don't want more responsibility. I want to chill and just know that I'm stable. Because the fact of the matter is, if I can just stay here for at least a year, I know my savings are going to look pretty freaking good. And I started working here in March. So if I can just hang on until, like, March next year, you know, I'm really going to be just trying to get the heck up out of here then. Because I'm telling you, I do not think I could stay here for, I don't think I could stay here for a prolonged, you know, period of time, like years. I'd rather, like, stay here, you know, get what I need, build up my savings, and then start doing stuff that I really want to do, you know? So I don't want any advancements. And people are like, oh, but you get paid more. Yeah, but more responsibility, more headaches, blah, blah, blah. Because it's not just about how much you're making. It's about how much you're retaining. But when it comes down to ladies, if you catch my drift, retaining, that's not in the freaking cards. Like, just today, while they were talking about that, they were talking about how, oh, I can't wait to get a new car. I'm like, listen, you don't even have the new car. It's just a car note. You're just, you know, you're literally just increasing the amount that you're spending to show out the crap that doesn't matter. Like, I find it very odd that, like, they literally just have no semblance of, you know, you're talking about how you can't find a guy, and all that you're probably going to come into that guy's life with is just, buy me this, buy me this, buy me this. Money, money, money. That's pretty much it. And my male manager, God bless him, even he's kind of like, I think he just accepts that the only way that he'll ever, like, keep a woman and keep the wife that he has is if he just, like, prioritizes her, you know, in terms of, like, just pleasing her. Because that's what he said one of those nights in one of my previous videos, where, like, they were having, like, a freaking all-out debate about random crap, you know. He said, like, the relationships usually work when the man's just focused on pleasing her. I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, and I say this as somebody, again, who's grown up in a house with 5 sisters, so please don't tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You learn a lot from listening to them talk about stuff like that, right? All they really want, to be honest, is a freaking servant. Yeah. You know, they'll claim they want you to be in charge, but when it comes down to that money, give me the money, right? And that's how my ex, you know, the one that I mentioned at the start of this video, that's how she was, you know? She just felt like I was supposed to be giving her money all the time and crap, and I was like, yeah, F that. You know, I checked on her. She hasn't responded or anything. I just wanted to see if she's okay, because freaking mental break. But if she thinks that I'm going to be, like, say, opening the door for her to come back over here, yeah, in terms of, like, my life, yeah, that's not happening. It's not happening. You know, I hope your well-being's fine in terms of, like, your mental health, but, you ain't my problem. You know, I save quite a lot of money when I'm not dating, and I'm telling you, boys, again, it's always been cheaper to rent. Because the way that I see it these days, especially these days, man, It's like a car. It's like an eternal car note that you have. And at any point, they can just choose to dip with all the stuff that you invested in that. And you don't get that back. Sound fair to you? No, that's not fair to me. So, you know, that ship has sailed if she thinks that there will be anything here for her in terms of, you know, like coming back. Because if I get a response from her and she's talking about how she wants to like get back together, especially after this, oh hell no. And this is kind of what I mean, boys. Like, this mental breakdown crap, they're all on head meds, or like they've got some kind of problems, because I don't even know, man. Like, I don't know why the heck they're all on some kind of head meds, but I have checked out of that crap faster than you can blink. Whenever somebody's mentioning like relationships and stuff like that at the job, like if it's a male coworker, I might give my 2 cents, but if it's a female coworker, I stay silent because I don't want to deal with HR. Nah, man. Guys, there ain't nothing out here but like freaking piranhas and crap if you're trying to look for it and stuff. Because all that really happens, I'll tell you this right now, all that really happens is people are just very good at putting on a front. And if you don't believe me, let's be honest, okay? Let's say that you work as a barista. Let's say you work as a greeter at a job center. Please do not honestly tell me that you don't put on a face and say welcome every time. You don't mean that crap. You don't mean that. You just say it. So the same way that people put on a face for that, do you really think that they can't put on a face when it comes down to romance? Come on now. Let's be real. But yeah, this isn't going to be a long video. I just kind of wanted to share that because, I don't know. I'm like, I saw that on my break and I'm like, she had a freaking mental breakdown. What the hell? You know, like, yeah. Just glad that I'm not there, because you knows what could have happened, right? Imagine just having a mental breakdown on me. Oh my God. Speaking of, look at ambulances, right? But I digress. I'm going to go ahead and end this before that starts making a whole bunch of noise. I want to thank you guys for listening as always. I hope you guys are hanging in there. You know, I'm hanging in there too. I'm glad that this ambulance isn't making a whole bunch of noise. Thank God. Oh my God. Shut up. Shut up. But again, hope you guys are hanging in there, guys. Hope you guys are finding reasons to continue on, you know? Even if it's just for hobbies and fun and just, heck, I don't know, a freaking Big Mac every now and again, you know? Whatever it may be that's got you keeping on, you know? Thank you guys as always. God bless. I'll see you guys next time.